I got a stealth box here. Yeah, it's like it does kind of try to give you an indicator here. It's a M009 BK, but what's under this little cover is it's a Rosecraft knife. Be sharp, stay sharp. It's a Rosecraft. Uh, Awanada Black. Awanada. Okay. Well, let's check it out. That little sleeve was kind of hiding what that was. I didn't know what it was. I just saw that white thing. What we got here? It's like a little keychain slip joint, I'm thinking. Black micarta. Wow, look at that. Definitely a keychain hanger, for sure. Let's get it out. Ooh, strong detent. Double clutcher. RCM009 BK. I'm going to have to look up steel type because I don't see it here. Very clean lines, fit and finish. Just a neat little keychain cutter for sure. Oh man. Wow. Yeah, there's no this is a two-hand knife for sure. Especially that blade's probably sharp as all get out. I'm gonna look it up and then we'll clean it up and because now I'm curious. The RCM009. I guess the BK is for black, right? All right, let's see what this thing's about. Okay, Awanada. Very affordable little double half stop keychain Warncliffe D2 steel slippy. Yeah, just a little cutter. I as much as I'm probably going to regret it, I do want to get in here. Why not, man? Come on. Let's roll with it. I think I'm going to pull everything from this side if I can. I didn't feel captured, but it's coming. It's definitely from the other side. Yeah, there's my screw. And it popped it out of the way, so yeah, we'll see what that's all about when we go to put it back together. Yeah. Because it's out of alignment now. As soon as I popped that pivot out of there, it got out of alignment. There we go. I said micarta, but I think it's G10. Yep, I do think it's G10. Beautiful lock up here. Is that a washer? I don't think so. Man, that detent is so strong on this thing. Yeah, this is our spot right here. We've got some play. It allowed me to kind of mess around. It does have a little washer on it on both sides of the blade. I mean, the tension that's created in that bar is no joke. Right now, it's up on that washer. It's holding that washer to task. There it goes. Yeah, look how far down that is in there. But, I mean, I got it apart, so I'm going to go ahead and clean things up. And, yeah, why not? Need my towel. There we go. And I'm going to use a little ethanol on it, get it nice and clean. Rosecraft. Done a few of them on the channel. I don't think I've done one in a while. It's kind of an interesting brand. And I haven't paid attention to them for a minute. But I know they have a lot of new products out. Like, I think they for sure made a commitment to not be a one-hit wonder. You know, I think they dropped a few knives, and maybe the question was, well, what's their intention as a knife company? But clearly, what they've been doing says, yeah, we're here to stay. We're going to design knives. We're going to put out product and continue to drive forward. 100%, I think that's the philosophy. I don't know that. I haven't spoke to them. I'm not trying to represent their core business philosophy. What do I know, man? I had this little dude sitting around. I think I purchased it maybe 8 or 9 months ago. And it had been here for a while. And I'd mentioned this before. I am going through trying to catch up on some old product that I had sitting around here. So I'm kind of making it a priority to dig through. These look like hardened steel, so I don't think I'm not gonna polish any of that. I'm actually, I think, just gonna put it back together. Let's go down this way. It's gonna make me more comfortable to do this. The pivot's not captured in any way, so I don't think it cares which way it goes. These little barrel spacer nuts look the same, so I don't think they care. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit of lube under each layer of the washer. No reason that this knife can't be a slightly oily if it'll help the action at all. Which the action wasn't bad. To be honest, the action was crazy strong. To the point of this knife being kind of scary to function because of its size. But if you're going to mess with slip joints, you're going to encounter that. Some of these are just, they're small and the action on them is tight and you got to muscle it. Pretty sure this is our go-to spot right here. Let me try it closed. See, just in case that gives me more. Oh, it fell out. Dirty dog. I think that does give me more, though. It gives me more to play with. Maybe not. Let's see. Uh, That is some legit tension going on there, man. I think I'm going to use a tool, only because I don't like having my fingers in there. And I think I can go right here. Nah, I thought wrong. I'm going to drop that back pin out again. And get everything lined up. Like so. Boy, looking in there, that is really close. Yeah, it is super close. Well, I'm gonna bring in a tool. Yep. Okay. Well, I didn't turn the camera on. I'm not doing it again, but I'll show you what I did. So I literally grabbed onto the lock right there, and I held here, and I turned my hand until it cleared the blade, and I pushed down on it. It's pretty fundamental what I did there. But as much tension as it took for me to do that, I don't know that I could have done that manually without a tool. I don't know that I could have, because boy, it took some muscle. Not that I have muscles, I'm not saying that. Yeah, and it's off a little bit here, so I need to get these screws in back here to hold down the fort so these don't pop out. And what do they call it? A comedy of errors or something? I don't know. So I think what I'll do here is I'm going to use my vise. I'm going to put this in my vise. I'm going to squeeze that together until I can push that pivot in. But I think I'm going to do it this way so that the pivot doesn't fall out, because boy, I sure don't want that to happen. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I did exactly what I talked about. I squeezed it and put those parts in there. And I used a rag so I didn't get none of it. Yeah, it worked wonderfully. Now, I wonder if there's any tuning that I can get done here. I mean, this thing is wicked and scary. I mean, it's running better, you know. There's no wiggle. I mean, look how straight and even all of this is. I need to tighten these back screws now that I'm looking at them. Yeah, they're not tight. Let me take the tension off of that before I do that. It seemed like that was maybe the least tension spot, so let's go there. I think I need some help. There's no help coming because that's a rivet. It's not machined on the other side. Can't say. Okay, well, we got her all back together and lined out and cleaned up. And so let's talk about this action. It is really stiff, but I have to take into account what this little dude is all about. This isn't really. Well, I think. Look at the action on this thing. I think the idea is to hang this on your keys. Well, let's assume that's what it is. Look how centered that blade is. Very nice. Which if it wasn't very centered, then doesn't that mean it's not centered? Like centered's kind of specific, isn't it? That always cracks me up when I say it. Yeah, it's really centered. Well, versus what? Kind of centered? Like it's either centered or it's off center, right? So here's the thing: if you were going to hang this on your keys, or if I was, I wouldn't want this thing to be easy to open. I would want it to be stiff and to have to be very intentional to get that out of there. And that's what the action on this knife says. You know, it could hang like this and not come open no matter how hard you throw your keys on the counter or banging them around and maybe they hang off the side of your belt or whatever. No matter how hard this bangs around, that blade ain't coming open. The only way that blade comes open is if you intentionally grab that fuller, that huge nail nick that's sharp, and intentionally get it open. With that said, for what this is, I'm going to say it's correct and give it a B plus. A B plus to an A minus. I'm only gonna like knock it down to that because I'm making some assumptions here. Like, well, because you're gonna hang it. Like, if you just threw this in your pocket, would you want it that tight? You see what I'm saying? So I think because I'm making the assumption with this keychain holder thing here, then the detent's correct. So let's say that. Let me put it that way. If you're going to put this on your keys or on a key, or on a dangle hanging off a backpack or whatever, then the detent's correct, and I'll give it an A minus. If you're going to put it in your pocket, it's a little stiff, and then I'd give it a B or a B plus. That's how I answer that, I guess. Ergonomics, it's about a 3 finger knife, and I can get a grip on it. If I had to cut something with it, I could. Now, depending on how sharp it is, that's going to play in. That nice warm cliff gives you a heck of a tip. It's fairly thin stock, it's not overly thick, and then a big, tall flat grind. So I'm going to expect this to be pretty sharp. There's none of this going on. Like, you're not going to get any of that. This is a cutter. Now, can you pinch grip that and be very detailed with it? Could you pick out a splinter with that tip? Yeah, the answer is yes to all of the above. Is there any play in that blade? Not a lick. Yeah, I mean, that is rock solid. Of course, that has something to do with how strong they made this lock. It's locked up so well. Um, how sharp is it? D2 from the factory, Rosecraft. I mean, that's how sharp you'd want this. You'd want it to be a little razor. Like, otherwise, what's the point of having it? So, what's the name of this thing again? Uh, Awanada. Awanada. Yep. Pretty cool piece. Um, and I actually am I've been trying to get my hands on a slip joint that would hang on my backpack or hang on my keys. I wear a backpack to wrestling tournaments, and so I wouldn't mind having, just the tiniest little slip joint, because a lot of these places, you can't bring a knife or any of that in there. Well, I think I could hang one on my backpack and get it in there. Like, this might function. Yep. Price and availability. Okay. Well, you can find this one over at Timber's Edge Knives for around $25. So if you use a 10% code as a subscriber, it gets you just a tick over $20. So these are really reasonable. D2 steel definitely would hang well on a keychain. And like I say, on a keychain, I think that detent is correct. I think that's the way you want that. You don't want that coming out easily. Like, this is one knife that I would want to tune it up to be more difficult versus less. Um, yeah, pretty cool. Now keep in mind over at Timber's Edge, because the price is below $40 or $50 or whatever it is, they're shipping with this. So I think the rule is put it with another knife. Yeah, purchase this with something else, and you can get this for free shipping. Yep, the Awanada, is that what it is? Let's wrap up. Awanada. Yep, the Awanada slip joint. Pretty cool. Appreciate y'all watching.